The Kansas City Chiefs have officially landed in New Orleans, and you can almost feel the electricity in the air. Picture this: you step off the plane into bright sunshine, with temperatures sitting comfortably in the 60s. The team touches down, calm and focused, but you know they're here for one reason: to make history at Super Bowl 59. As the players made their way down the staircases from the plane, there wasn't much fanfare. No big celebration, no media frenzy, just business, but you could still sense the weight of the moment. The Chiefs are chasing something no team has ever done before: 3 straight Super Bowl wins, and they know it. Now, let's talk about Coach Andy Reid. While most of the Eagles rolled in with black sweatsuits sporting the Super Bowl Licks logo, our guy Reid stepped out in a sharp blue suit with a bold red tie. Classic Andy, right? Always bringing his own style to the game. Poll time. What do you think of Coach Reid's blue suit? 1, looking sharp, 2, too flashy. For Super Bowl week, security was tight at the airport. Media were held way back behind barricades, and there were no interviews as the players hopped onto their buses and rolled out in convoys toward their downtown hotel. But you know the calm exterior is just the surface. Inside, this team is locked in. Now, let me ask you something. If you were at the airport, who would you want to welcome first? Mams, Cals, maybe Chris Jones? Drop your pick in the comments. I'm curious to see who the fan favorite is. This calm before the storm is just the beginning. Because this game, it's about more than just football, it's about history in the making. Let's dive into what's at stake for our Chiefs. Alright, Chiefs Kingdom, buckle up, because what we're witnessing this season is nothing short of legendary. The Kansas City Chiefs are on the verge of making NFL history, aiming to become the first team ever to win 3 consecutive Super Bowls. Let that sink in for a second. We're not just talking about a great season, we're talking about a chance to cement this team as one of the greatest dynasties in football history. Now, remember that nail-biter against the Buffalo Bills in the AFC Championship? 32-29, man, that game had everything: intensity, heart, and some vintage Mams magic. Patrick Mams showed once again why he's the leader of this team. Cool under pressure, making plays when it mattered most. It wasn't just about talent. It was about resilience, the kind of resilience that gets you to the big stage year after year. But let's not forget the rest of the squad. Travis Kelce was out there doing Travis Kelce things, making impossible catches look easy. And the defense, Chris Jones and the crew, stepped up big time when it mattered most. This team has been through battles all season, and every win, every close call has brought them here. Vote time. Do you believe the Chiefs will secure the three-peat? 1, yes, this is our year. 2, nope, it's going to be tough. Now, I want to hear from you. What's been your favorite moment from this season? Was it that wild comeback against the Bills? Mams pulling off another no-look pass? Or maybe that clutch defensive stop in the final seconds? Let's relive the magic together in the comments. Here's the thing, being part of this moment means more than just watching another Super Bowl. We're witnessing history, and as a fan, you are part of that journey. Every win, every play, it's all been building up to this. But history isn't handed out, it's earned, and to get there, the Chiefs need to navigate more than just the Eagles. Injuries could be the biggest game changer. Let's break down who's ready to play and who's on the mend. Now, here's where things get interesting. As much as talent and strategy matter, let's be real, health can make or break a Super Bowl run. And when you look at the injury reports for both the Chiefs and the Eagles, you'll see why this could be a game changer. Let's start with our Chiefs. The good news, we've only got 5 players listed on the injury report. The only real concern is Sky Moore, who's marked as doubtful for the game. But honestly, that shouldn't shake things up too much. The rest of the squad? They're looking solid with full participation in practice. And let's face it, when you've got Mams healthy, you've always got a shot at the trophy. Speaking of Mams, even if he's dealing with some bumps and bruises from a long season, you know he's the kind of player who rises to the occasion. The bye week gave him the time he needed to rest and reset, and if there's anyone who can take us to the promised land, it's Patrick Mahomes. Now, flip the script to the Eagles, and it's a whole different story. Their injury list, it's long. Key players like Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, and Devonta Smith are either resting or battling injuries. Saquon's been a beast lately, but you've got to wonder, will he be at 100%? And it's not just the big names, their offensive line is banged up, and a weakened line could mean trouble for Jalen Hurts when Chris Jones and our defense start applying pressure. Poll time, which injury concerns you the most heading into the Super Bowl? One Sky Moore status to Mahomes' condition, but we know he's a warrior. Now here's a question for you. Do you think the Eagles' long injury list gives the Chiefs an even bigger advantage? Or do you think they'll bounce back in time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love hearing what Chiefs Kingdom has to say. At the end of the day, football isn't just about who's on the field, it's about who's ready to play. And from the looks of it, the Chiefs are healthier and hungrier than ever. But injuries might tell one story, strategy tells another. And when it comes to Super Bowl week, it's not just about game day. The whole city of New Orleans is buzzing with energy. Let's dive into what's happening off the field. Alright, Chiefs Kingdom, let's take a step off the field for a second and soak in the vibes of Super Bowl week in New Orleans. If you've ever been to NOLA, you know this city doesn't just host events, it throws legendary parties. But when the Super Bowl comes to town, it's on a whole different level. This is the first Super Bowl in New Orleans since 2013, and the city is buzzing. You can feel the anticipation in the air as fans from all over the country flood the streets. Bourbon Street is packed, the French Quarter is alive with music, and Chiefs Red is everywhere. It's like the whole city has transformed into one giant tailgate party, but with that classic New Orleans flair. But it's not all fun and games. Security is tighter than ever, especially after the tragic events on Bourbon Street earlier this year. With over 6,000 media credentials issued, yeah, you heard that right, 6,000. The spotlight is huge, and everyone's on high alert, but that's not slowing down the energy. If anything, it's making the anticipation even more intense. Now, imagine, you're there. The music, the food, the fans chanting "Go Chiefs" at every corner. Let me ask you this: if you were in New Orleans for Super Bowl week, what's the first thing you'd do? Would you hit up Bourbon Street for some classic NOLA fun? Or would you be on a mission to find the team's hotel and maybe catch a glimpse of Mahomes and the crew? Drop your answers in the comments. I need to know which kind of fan you are. Poll time. Which city throws the better Super Bowl party? 1 New Orleans, 2 Miami. But as fun as Super Bowl week is, all this excitement leads to one thing: the showdown on Sunday. And while the city's buzzing, there's still one big question hanging over everything. When the clock starts ticking on game day, who really has the edge? Let's break down which team benefits more from the bye week and what that means for our Chiefs. Alright, here we are, the final stretch before the big game. We've talked about the hype, the history, and the injuries, but now it's time to answer the real question: who benefits more from the bye week? On paper, it looks like the Eagles might have the most to gain. Their injury list is stacked, and that extra time to rest and recover could be just what they need to get key players like Saquon Barkley and Devonta Smith back to full strength. But here's the thing: you can't fix everything in a week. And with the way their roster's been banged up, there's no guarantee they'll be firing on all cylinders by game day. Now, let's talk about our Chiefs. The bye week wasn't just about rest, it was about momentum. We're coming off a hard-fought win against the Bills, and our roster is looking solid. Mahomes, even if he's not at 100%, is still the most dangerous player on that field. And when you've got a QB like him, plus the experience of chasing back-to-back Super Bowls, that's a recipe for history. Let's not forget the key matchups either. The Chiefs' defense knows exactly who to watch. Saquon Barkley is their biggest threat, and if we can shut him down early, it's going to be a long night for Philly. Who's got the edge on Super Bowl Sunday? 1 Chiefs to Eagles now. It's your turn. Drop your score predictions in the comments. Who's calling a blowout? Who's bracing for another nail-biter? Let's see who gets it right. Whether you're lucky enough to be in New Orleans or cheering from home, this is our moment, Chiefs Kingdom. Let's make history together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for all things Total Chiefs. Let's bring this one home.